Have you ever wondered how organizations stay ahead of threats like cyberattacks, operational failures, or compliance issues? How do they make sure nothing slips through the cracks? Well, the answer is simpler than you think. It's something called a threat register. Welcome to Bluehat Cybersec Academy. So, what exactly is a threat register? A threat register, sometimes called a risk register, is essentially a structured document or database that organizations use to identify, assess, and track potential threats that could affect their goals. Think of it as a central hub where every risk is recorded, categorized, and monitored throughout its life cycle. And here's the important part. A threat register isn't just a static list. A proper register is dynamic. It's continuously updated and linked to risk mitigation and monitoring processes. This ensures no potential threat is overlooked and that your organization has a clear, actionable plan for each risk identified. When it comes to a threat register, several key elements are usually included for each identified risk. These include a threat description, which explains what the risk is and how it could affect the organization, and the category or type, which classifies it as cybersecurity, operational, financial, regulatory, or reputational. Organizations also assess the likelihood of each threat, low, medium, or high, and the potential impact, considering consequences like financial loss, operational disruption, or reputational damage. From there, the risk level or priority is calculated by combining likelihood and impact, helping organizations focus on the most critical risks first. Every threat should have an owner or responsible party, along with mitigation or control measures that outline how the risk will be managed. Tracking the status, whether active, mitigated, or under review, and a review date to ensure the risk is periodically reassessed are also crucial for maintaining an effective register. You might be wondering, why go through all this effort? That's where the value of a threat register really comes in. It provides holistic risk visibility, giving decision-makers a single source of truth for all identified threats. It allows for prioritization of risks, ensuring resources are focused where they're needed most. It improves accountability, because someone is responsible for every threat. A threat register also supports regulatory compliance, helping organizations meet standards like ISO 27001, NIST, or GDPR. It enhances decision-making, allowing leadership to make informed choices about investments, controls, and strategy. And perhaps most importantly, it enables proactive risk management, helping organizations anticipate issues and take preventive action rather than simply reacting to crises. Now you might be asking yourself, how do we actually create and maintain a threat register? First, you need to identify threats by engaging stakeholders, reviewing historical incidents, industry benchmarks, and emerging risks. Then, assess and categorize each threat by likelihood, impact, and type. Assign ownership so someone is responsible for monitoring and mitigation, and develop mitigation plans that clearly outline actions to reduce or manage each risk. All of this needs to be documented in a central repository, whether that's a spreadsheet, database, or dedicated risk management software. Finally, review and update regularly so your threat register reflects changes in your business environment and emerging risks. To make your threat register truly effective, follow a few best practices. Keep it clear and simple so everyone can understand it. Be proactive, not reactive, updating the register continuously. Integrate it with broader risk management frameworks for consistency. Use quantitative and qualitative measures to ensure accurate assessments. And finally, monitor key indicators to detect increasing risk exposure. Let's make this concrete with an example of a threat register entry. Imagine 3 risks your organization might track. First, a ransomware attack. This is a cybersecurity threat. Its likelihood is high, and the impact is severe, making it a critical risk. The IT security team is responsible, and mitigation measures include regular backups, endpoint protection, and employee training. Next, regulatory non-compliance. This falls under regulatory risks. Its likelihood is medium, but the impact is high, so it's considered a high-level risk. The compliance team oversees this, using periodic audits and compliance training to mitigate it. Finally, a data center power outage, which is an operational risk. Its likelihood is low, but the impact could be high. The facilities team manages this risk with backup generators and a disaster recovery plan. These examples show how a threat register captures not just what the risk is, but also who is responsible and what actions are in place to reduce it. So, to wrap this up, a threat register is more than just a document. It's a strategic tool that helps organizations proactively identify, track, and mitigate risks. Maintaining a comprehensive and up-to-date threat register enhances resilience, strengthens cybersecurity posture, ensures regulatory compliance, and supports smarter decision-making. In today's fast-paced, risk-filled environment, a well-managed threat register is essential for operational stability and long-term success. Now, here's a challenge for you. Can you list 3 potential threats your organization might face? How would you categorize them in a threat register? And which of those threats would you prioritize for mitigation first? And why? Write your answers in the comments. I'd love to see how you're thinking about risk management. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more actionable cybersecurity insights. And don't forget to explore our governance and compliance playlist here on Bluehat Cybersec to learn how rules, policies, and best practices protect your business.